Hi, grade 8. Welcome to another one. So today we're doing, oh, guys, my tongue is just running very fast. Today we'll be doing algebraic expressions. But before we do anything of the expression, we need to understand our algebraic language. It's very, very, very important because it will help us to build our knowledge for algebraic expressions and algebraic equations and anything that's required in maths in terms of algebra. So, algebraic language. Now, let's start here. In algebra, we have what we call terms, and I'll explain it to you what it means. But now, these terms are separated by a plus or a minus, right? So if we have something like this, 2x squared plus 3y minus 6, for example. Now we call this terms. So here we have 1, 2, 3 terms. Now this is one term. Yes, we have an x squared and a 2, but these two are multiplied together, forming one term. So this is one term because the 2 is multiplied to the x squared, which forms a term. Now, terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Here, we have a second term because this term is separated by this plus. So this is our term number 2. This 3 is multiplied to the y, which makes it one term. So multiplication, it binds things together to be 1. So this 3 is multiplied to the y, which forms a term. Separated by a minus, we have this 6, but you see this 6 does not have a variable. Now this 6 is another term. So here we have 3 terms. Terms are separated by a plus or a minus, not multiplication, not division. Right. Let's look at this one. Here we have 2x squared over, let's make this 4. Then we have plus 5z. Right. When we look at this term, we have 2 terms here. Now, this 2x squared over 4 is one term. Remember I said that terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Now, these terms are divided. They are not added. They are not subtracted. So, this part is regarded as one term. So, this is going to be term number 1. Separated by a plus, this is going to be our second term because this 5 is multiplied to the z, therefore it makes it one term. So now here we have 2 terms. This is regarded as one term because we are dividing. Now let's take a look at this. Let's say we have 2x minus 3 and then plus 2, for example. Now, if we have to analyze this, we need to be very, very careful. Now, anything that you find inside the bracket is regarded as one thing. So it's like the bracket keeps everything together. So this is going to be 1. So this is term number 1. Now, yes, you see a minus inside the bracket. It doesn't mean that you need to separate these 2 terms and make it 1 and 1. No. Whenever we have terms inside a bracket, it's going to make it 1. Anything inside the bracket makes it one thing. So this whole bracket is regarded as one term. Separated by a plus, we have our second term, which is this number 2. So here we have 2 terms. Right. Now let's try something like this. Let's say we have x plus 2. How many terms do you think are here, guys? Now, let's look at the bracket first. We have one thing, because I said whenever we have brackets, whatever that is inside the bracket is regarded as one thing. Now, when we look at this, you see that we have one thing here. But let's look at the 2. Is the 2 added or subtracted to the bracket? Now, you see we do not have any plus here, so we cannot say that the 2 is added to the bracket, but it means that the 2 is being multiplied to the bracket. So this whole thing is multiplication. It's actually like 2 times 4. And remember, I said in terms of multiplication, whenever you have two numbers that are multiplying together, it's like they're put together to form one thing. So this whole term is only going to be one term. It's not going to be two terms, because this 2 is multiplied to the bracket. And remember, terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Alright, let's look at this one. Let's say we have 2x plus 1 and we have x minus 1. Now, if you were to be asked how many terms are here, you first have to look at if the terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Now, I said anything inside the bracket is regarded as one thing. So meaning here we have one thing divided by one thing. Now, these two terms are not separated by a plus, but they're definitely separated by a division sign. And now we said terms, for us to say that we have this much terms, or how many terms, it is indicated by a plus or a minus. But looking at this example, this is going to be one term divided by one term. Now, this is just going to be one term, because these two terms are not separated by a plus or a minus. And anything inside the bracket is regarded as one thing. It's not regarded as separate things. Right, guys, let's take a look at these examples. So the question is, how many terms are there in the following expressions? So let's start with number 1. But before I start with that, I want you to quickly pause the video, do it by yourself, and then we'll mark after. But obviously I won't wait for you. I'll just do it, and then you'll pause the video, do it by yourself, and then check after. So let's look at number 1. Now, looking at number 1, here we have 2x. Remember, when we have two numbers that are next to each other, it means that they multiply together. We have 2 that is multiplied to the x plus 6. And now terms are separated by a plus or a minus. Now, looking at this, we can see that we have 1 and 2. So we have 2 terms because they're separated by a plus. Right. Number 2. Now here we have 2 times x minus 1. And remember, bracket makes it 1. Now this bracket is multiplied to the 2, making it one term. Divided by x plus 2, this is going to be one term, because division and multiplication does not separate terms. So this is regarded as one term. Plus 3y. So meaning here we have one term separated by a plus, then we have another term. So here we still have two terms. Right. Let's look at number 3. Right. Here we have a bracket with a trinomial, meaning we have 3 terms inside the bracket. I will also explain what a trinomial is in the next video. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 2, and this whole thing is inside the bracket. Now, whenever we have things inside the bracket, no matter how many they can be, as long as they're enclosed inside the bracket, it means that it is regarded as one term divided by a number. Now here there is no plus or minus that's separating terms. Remember, you cannot look at these ones because everything inside the bracket is regarded as one. So in this case, we only have one term. Right. Let's look at number 4. So number 4, we have x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now, there are no brackets here. Therefore, we do not have to stress about anything. Now, we check if we have pluses or minuses that are separating terms. So here we have one term plus another term minus another term. So here it means we have 3 terms, because these terms are separated by this minus and this plus. So therefore we have 3 terms. Right, let's look at number 5. We have a half x squared multiplied by 6y. Now, do you see that there are no pluses or minuses here? Yes, so whenever we have numbers that are multiplying together, they form one thing. So meaning here we only have one term, because we do not have any plus or a minus that is separating these two terms.